Get ready to unlock the secrets of financial freedom on Infinite Banking for real estate investors. This show is for visionary entrepreneurs who value family, faith, and financial freedom. It's time to seize control of your finances and craft the future you've always envisioned. And now, here is your host, Mark Clark.
Welcome to our podcast, Infinite Banking for Real Estate Investors. I am Mark Andrew Clark, an authorized infinite banking practitioner with the Nelson Nash Institute. If you're like me, you have a passion for real estate investing, and you probably also value family, faith, freedom, and fitness. You may be a seasoned investor or looking to get into real estate for the very first time. Either way, we're going to show you what infinite banking actually is and how it can create velocity with your money and your real estate portfolio. Today's episode is titled Infinite Banking and Real Estate Investing, Real-World Examples. Now, before we dive into those real-world examples, let's remember that becoming your own banker is a process and not a product. Again, a process and not a product. And that infinite banking is also the perfect vehicle to build and protect generational wealth via real estate investing because of the following benefits. 1, guaranteed tax-free growth. 2, it's private, not controlled by the government. 3, liquid and flexible. 4th, you control it. 5th, protection from creditors. And finally, you can make money with the same dollars in 2 places at the same time. So today we're going to share a couple real-world examples of Walt Disney, Ray Kroc, and JCPenney and how they utilized infinite banking in their lives and were there to launch their really generational wealth and legacy. All right, so let's start off with Walt Disney. We all know Disney, and Walt had already established his studio, but banks turned him down left and right for loans for his theme park vision. The Disneyland sourcebook quotes Walt as saying, "I could never convince the financiers that Disneyland was feasible because dreams offer too little collateral." Now, thankfully, he had previously built his own bank using whole life cash value, high cash value, dividend paying whole life. So unfettered, Walt borrowed against his life insurance and sold his second house just so he could purchase land and develop his idea to the point where he could show others what he had in mind. Because Walt Disney had this guaranteed access to liquidity, he was able to eventually capitalize on his dream and create a multinational empire for generations to enjoy. So that's Walt Disney. Next, let's move on to Ray Kroc. For those of you not familiar with Ray Kroc, he was really the founder and creator of McDonald's. So it's documented that he borrowed against 2 different cash value life insurance policies to pay his key employees along the way and acquire land. So he funded McDonald's Hallmark branding campaign and acquired those properties using the precious liquidity provided by his whole life insurance policies. Ronald McDonald was born because Ray Kroc was able to acquire funds at any time for any reason from his own private family bank. With Ray Kroc, nobody knows for sure how astronomical the rate of return of that policy loan actually was. However, we all know about the billions upon billions of customers that McDonald's has served since then. This is a direct result of that key early growth that was largely self-funded by Ray Kroc's whole life insurance policies. And finally, we're going to talk about Mr. James Cash Penney. He diversified into a vast stock portfolio as well as acres upon acres of Florida real estate. Perhaps the least exciting of all his investment choices was a very large whole life insurance policy. And with its conservative but steady tax-free growth, as a responsible employer and head of a household, it's likely that Penney got the policy more for the death benefit component than for the cash value component. But fast forward to 1929 and the stock market crash. This quickly became his favorite asset. Around the same time that the crash hit, JCPenney's health was starting to give way, probably due to the stress of the situation. How reassuring it must have been for JC to know that even though he took a large loan against his cash value to save his business, there would still be a substantial death benefit paid out to his family if he were to pass away during that tumultuous time. Thanks to the contractual growth and guaranteed liquidity inherent in the whole life insurance policy, JCPenney was spared a certain business death. And his physical health also turned around, and he was able to catapult his business, pay vendors during a time when others were going out of business, and allowed him to grow while others were closing. So those are 3 stories, real world examples, and how we can do it too. So next time on the podcast, we're going to talk about Nelson Nash's forestry background and how it relates to becoming your own banker. We encourage you to visit our website right now at www.generationbankpa.com and get your free copy of Nelson Nash's book, Becoming Your Own Banker. This is the first step in implementing your own self-reliant banking system, allowing you to fund real estate deals when you want, how you want, and the deals that you do want to do. Again, the website is generationbankpa, as in Papa Alpha.com. Until next time, we hope you hold dear family, faith, freedom, and fitness.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.